Hi everyone. Wanted to pop by and tell you guys about a lot of conversations that I've been having lately with a lot of my friends. As I mentioned before, a lot of my friends are very high empaths, and unfortunately, being a very high empath makes you a target for narcissists. And yeah, I've been talking with them a lot about this. And one of the things that I hear quite a bit is, if only I could get closure. And I feel that. I totally get that. I mean, that was one of the reasons why I went on the Dr. Phil show to, talk with my biological mother and father. Was because I wanted closure. The thing is that unfortunately, especially when it comes to narcissists, you're not going to get closure. And I mean, I've been listening to a lot of this lady called Dr. Romani, and it's spelled Rumani, and she is very much an expert on this subject, and I love her stuff. It's very factual, very, straightforward, and I like that, so I've been learning a lot about, like, the narcissistic thrall and manipulation that they've got, and especially when it comes to narcissistic relationships. That's one of the things, is that you're never going to get closure. And one of the reasons being that they like the idea of somebody out there pining for them. They like the idea that they've got like a backup plan type of thing. And another reason, that I kind of realized when I was on the Dr. Phil show was because my biological father was diagnosed as a sociopathic narcissist. And that was one of the reasons why he had no problem, like, trafficking me, basically, is because he didn't see me as a human being. He saw me as property. I mean, case in point, when he said that when Amanda was born, all I saw were dollar signs, So, I mean, unfortunately, it's one of those things that you kind of have to get the closure for yourself. And one of the ways that I would recommend that is, or at least one of the ways that helped me, was I wrote a letter to myself, like, from them. And I put everything in there, as far as the apologies, as far as, the things that I honestly wanted to hear. And then I read it out loud to myself. And I got that treatment from a book called Healing the 5 Wounds of the Heart. Very wonderful book. I definitely recommend it. It's up there. But it really helped me kind of gain closure for myself. I realized when I went to the Dr. Phil show that basically it's in their nature to bite. I mean, we've all heard the fable about the frog. Well, hopefully, if you haven't heard the fable about the frog and the scorpion asks the frog for a ride across the river, and the frog says, well, no, because, you're gonna sting me, and the scorpion's like, no, I'm not gonna sting you, I'm not gonna sting you. And And sure enough, halfway across the river, he stings the frog, and the frog goes, "Why did you do that? You know, it's now we're both gonna die." And the scorpion said, "Well, because it's in my nature." And sadly, you know, leaving people hurt is in a narcissist's nature. In a way, a lot of them feel like they deserve it because, you know, they've graced us with their presence and their magnitude and everything. And so, you know, they deserve whatever pain is coming to us. You know, and like I said, it gives them a bit of a thrill to know that they've got somebody out there pining for them. And so sadly, and I was actually having a conversation with my therapist about this, about, you know, reformed narcissists, and she even said that that's very, very rare. So, I mean, of course, they can say that they're going to change and they're going to do things differently, but it's not very common. And it creates a lot of wounds. And I mean, especially just any of them create wounds. I mean, there are those that suffer with narcissistic parents. And, you know, those are the ones that suffer greatly. I mean, it affects relationships, it affects themselves, and it's mainly because the narcissist will always blame somebody else for their shortcomings. Very, very rarely will they actually ever take accountability for their actions, because it's always somebody else's fault, you know? I mean, and it comes down, I've heard before that, well, this is all your fault because you wished it into existence, you know, you asked the universe for this to happen, and so you jinxed me and such. And, you know, at that point, of course, it kind of sounds like they're grasping for straws. And that usually means that you have set boundaries and you've actually acknowledged that, you know what, this is not my fault. And so if you've done that before, I'm very proud of you. That is awesome. You know, make sure you keep setting those boundaries. Make sure that you take care of yourself and try as hard as you can to reverse that damage that has been done. It's not your fault. It is not. And so please, you know, I mean, if you're here listening to me, I know that you are the type of person that has a big heart and you have the best of intentions for your fellow man. And you're the type of person that will internalize a lot of things, you know, and take it into and upon yourself. And another conversation that I was having was, a lot of times that's what leads to addiction and such, because you feel this, it also leads to a lot of self-sabotage, because you internalize it and you take it upon yourself. Maybe I did deserve this. Maybe I, you know, you have this sense of guilt that you hold on to. And, you know, I've said it before and I'll keep saying it. This is not your guilt to carry. It is not, you know. I mean, we have a very narcissistic society, unfortunately. It's one of those that, you know, a lot of times they will make you feel like you aren't good enough and, you know, keep working harder and maybe you'll be good enough. But, you know, keep your head down and just, you know, keep plugging away and maybe you'll be good enough, you know. Get that big house and, you know, all these fancy cars and stuff like that, and maybe you'll be good enough, you know. But the truth of it is, you are good enough as you are. You are worth it. You are, incredible with everything that you have been through, because, like I said, if you're here listening to me, I can tell you've been through a lot. And a lot of it you did not deserve. Most of it you did not deserve, But unfortunately, circumstances happen, and hell, life happened, Live your life to the fullest. That's one of the things that Greg, my late husband, used to say, before he passed, was just live your life to the fullest. And that's one of the things that I'm always saying about him, is that he may have died young, but man, did he live. And he really went for it. And it was very hard for him because he was actually abused as a child too. We connected on that level because, we could understand how each other felt. And oh my gosh, the times that I tried to sabotage our relationship because I felt like I didn't deserve it. I can't tell you, he was a very, very patient man with me, and that was amazing. And I remember, one of the arguments that we had gotten into, I don't even remember what it was about, but I do remember him saying, well, you know what? Neither one of us are going anywhere, so we're just going to have to figure this out. And that absolutely floored me because, I never had anybody that had stuck around for that, and really kind of faced me head on like that. And I miss him terribly. I really do. And all of the ones that I've lost, But I did have 10 years with Greg, so most of the memories that come up are about him, but I do miss all of them very, very much. And I think that is one of the things that really changed my mind about relationships in general, is the point that I know what I had, and I know what I deserve, and I really do deserve the best. And so, I'm not completely closing the door on relationships, but I'm taking a break for a bit and figuring out exactly what I want in a relationship. To be honest, I would love to have somebody like Greg or Russell or Dusty or Taz again, but I know that there was only one of them, and there can never be a replacement. So, I'm taking some time to keep grieving, because I know I deserve that time, and I know I deserve that healing, and I deserve that peace. So, so do you. You deserve that peace. You really do. You don't deserve to be questioning yourself or somebody else. You deserve that peace and knowing and understanding with yourself. And that's one of the reasons why, I suggest having conversations with yourself and, figuring out what exactly is happening with you. I usually ask myself, why am I upset about this? Is it because it's triggering something? Or is it because I'm programmed, per se, to be upset about this? You know, am I just following like societal norms and being upset about something? Or am I remembering something that's triggering me and that's upsetting me? Or am I, actually truly upset about that, and why? I mean, I like to do a lot of introspection and things like that. And I think it's good because it, kind of makes us understand ourselves a little bit better, and it helps us. It helps us in our healing. It helps us in our growing. So you do deserve the best. You do not deserve to be abused. You don't have to hit to hurt. And sometimes words can hurt far worse than bruises can, because they kind of stick with you. And you replay them over and over and over. Trust me, I know. So, please be good to yourself. Be kind to yourself. You really do deserve that peace. You deserve good things in your life. You deserve to be happy. So please, allow yourself that happiness. Thank you.